here. I'll say insert pivot table here. Let's do that here quickly, and let's say product we are looking for product container, right? And we are looking for shipping cost, right? And then what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna insert some macros here. For example, let's do that. This one is what, category, right? Shipping cost. So let's format this one quickly here. Number format currency, right? So and then let's go to the developer tab.
Is there a product category? Shouldn't that have been shipping?
Let's do the filter here.
Product container? Is that a product
Oh
category?
yeah, that's product container. I'm sorry. It should be product container, right? And let's do what we call filter on the date. And for example, let's say shipping date here. Let's put it here, right? Okay. I want to see how I can group this one. Okay, hold on. So I'm gonna work here. Okay, so let's say what if I put the year sales date here? Right, let's group it together on a, hold on, not the sales, I want sales order date, right? Say group here, right? And then let me do one thing here. Let's say design here off here, right? Right. Let's see. Okay. So here, what I can do here is just deselect. Right. Let's say this is 2009. I'm gonna create a chart based on this one. Okay. Let's say this one, right? Now what I want to do is I want to do a macro here. So I'll go to the, let's say, insert tab here, right? Button here. Let's say I'm going to put a button here, and
Use the button or checkbox.
yeah, you can use the checkbox as well to run the macro. You can assign the macro there that way as well. So this is like, let's say 2000, we have 10, right? 2010. Let's do this much here, right? So for example, I'm gonna say here, go to developer, record a macro. Okay, so I'm gonna say 2010 sales by container. Just give some name so that it's descriptive, right? So once I put it here, you say okay here. Okay, so it has to begin by a name. So sales by container 2011 10, right? Say okay here. So now it's being recorded, so I'll just go here, right? I will deselect all, and I'm just gonna select this one, right? Just gonna change that one, and I'll stop recording. Okay, so likewise I'm gonna insert another button here. Again, if you come up, you have to think about the utility, so you might come up with a better example. Well and good. Okay, so this is cancel here. I'm gonna say this is what do you call 2011, right? And then I will again go to developer tab, record a macro. Let's say product, it was sales, right? Sales by product container 2011, right? Say okay here, and it's recording it now. So I will go here, I'll deselect all and say 2011, right? So likewise you can, let's do another one here. Let's say button here. I didn't stop the recording. Thank you.
You gotta hit stop every time.
You have to stop it every time. So here I haven't assigned it yet. So for example, cancel here. Here I need to say assign a macro. Okay, this one is 2010, and here I had to assign a macro. So 2011, right? So now if you see it, it's gonna say 2010. It's not taking away. I need to fix it, but it gives you general idea. How would you do it, right? So here basically you have to clear everything up, right? So you can re-record it and do it again, right? So, and again, just copy this one and paste it on the dashboard here, right? And then just copy that thing here where it is. Right? So let's say copy. I hope this is gonna copy. Copy here. Let's say so it's going to the pivot table for pivot field. Okay. Working, that's why this is called advanced macro, because it's going to take some time to fix it. Okay. How about if I cut it and put it here? Okay, so best thing you can do here is it's going to the active sheet. So what we can do is we can add the macro here instead of doing it there. Let's do that. Okay, so delete this one, and delete this one, right? Let's add a macro here. So I'm going to say insert. I need to think about it. These things are a little involved, right? How can I move this thing with the macro, with this one?
Can you put it on a page and group them together?
No, it won't work like that.
sure? But I did it with checkboxes.
Okay, let's do that. For example, here, let's insert, let's give it a shot. So I'm going to put it here, right? So I don't want to assign any macro right now. Let's say this is we have 2011, right? 2011, right? Okay, good enough. So let's go to the developer, record a macro, right? And let's say macro 3, whatever it is, right? Then I will go to the data here. I will clear all of them, right? And I will select 2011, say okay here, right? And then I will go back to the dashboard here and stop recording, right? Let's do it for another one for 2010, right? So we at least need 2 to see it's working, otherwise right now it's default 2011. So let's say 2010, right? So here let's go to the, while I'm here, I'll go to the developer page here, record a macro, let's say macro 4, right? So I'll say okay here, it's being recorded. So I will go to that particular sheet here, I will deselect all of them again and click on 2010, right? And I'll go back to my dashboard here and I will stop recording, right? This one assign a macro 3, right? And this one assign the macro 4, right?
I kept getting an error too.
Okay, debug, unable to set the visible property of the fewer. Okay. I need to play with it, frankly speaking. Why this is doing it?
That's why I gave up on macros.
That's why there are so many points there, you know. That's why there is so many points there.
They're
Okay.
actually listed on here twice. Are they 20 points?
Give me a second. Hold on. So this is order. This is macro 3 is to some. Hold on. So 2011 is not working, right? Format control. Hold on. That was macro 3, right? Macro 3, right? So let's go to debug here. So here, if you see carefully, if I can copy this code, put it here. I'm not expecting you to know all those things, but these might solve the problem. Okay. No.
I could do that same thing.
Oh, I guess I just gotta do the reverse because it's just putting that thing first. Yeah, what I will do is, you know, once I'm back in my office, I will work on it and I will create a video on it and post it on the Blackboard, you know, to show you. I need to play with it, frankly speaking, you know, before I do too much here. See, now it's working. You see that?
Yeah, but you knew what to do.
Yeah, you had to go. You should be able
I
to
can't
go.
read the code. I don't know what that says.
See, if you see carefully, it's not that difficult. What it was doing is, it was when I click on 2011, what it was doing is, it was putting this thing off 2010 false, but it wasn't selecting 2011 at all. So that was a problem. So when I asked him, okay, now you better go and select that one, started working. How to fix it? You don't need to go into the code. You have to just re-record it, and do it that way. 2-3 times you'll get it.
Yeah, but I did
Yeah.
it 3 times and I forget it.
Yeah. Let's do it again. Let's do it. Like, let's, for example, I'm going to delete this one. Let's do it. This time we know it now. It's going to work. Okay. For example, let's say I want to put a button, right? Let's do that. So let's say I want to put a button. Don't want to assign it. Let's say this is, I want it 2011, right? Now we know it. So for example, I will go to the developer, record a macro, and I will say sales 2011. Okay. So I will go to this sheet here. I will say deselect all and select 2011, right? Say okay here, right? And then I will go back to dashboard and stop recording, right? Right click it, assign macro, just say 2011, right? So let's say this one is working. This guy is working fine, right? Let's put another button here.
Now you said you have to put the macro actually on the dashboard page. You can't
Yes, yes, it looks like that. It's not, it's very difficult to copy because it's referring to active sheet. So if you are right there doing it, it's referring to that active sheet. So that's why I'm putting it here, so that I can let him, okay, not this, you don't need to do it on the active sheet. You have to go back to the another sheet and change it there. So I'm gonna go here. Let's say this one is 2010, right? So we go to the developer, we record a macro. Let's say sales 2010, right? For example, so we're gonna say record is already being recorded. So I'll go here. I will deselect all, and I will select 2010 here, right? And I will go back to dashboard, stop recording. Right click on it, assign macro 2010, right? Here. Okay, it's still giving me the problem. If you go to debug, so basically it has to do these first before he can do the other thing. That's what you have to figure it out. That's why I gave so much point on that one. This helps, right? Yeah. So this is 2010, 2011. Yeah. So basically, if you read the code, it makes sense. If you read the code here, let's go back to the code. Macros, 2010, right? 2011. Edit. If you go here, see basically what we are telling here is go to the active sheet, which is pivot table 4, which is sheet number 7. So first of all, it's gonna see is, okay, select that sheet, okay, which is number 7, and then it's gonna say, okay, with this active sheet, what you do is you make 2011 visible first, and then you make 2010 visible false second, and it's going to do that. And here also we are doing the 2000. How did I know that? I just saw it here what this guy is doing for 2010, and I went back and changed the code, so it started working fine. And you basically, a lot of things we don't have straight answers as well. You have to practice. That's why it's a dashboard project. You have to practice it, come up with something there, and I'll be here to help. If you get stuck, bring your stuff to my office and we'll figure it out. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Okay, but you have to come up with an idea, like what question that you have in your mind that you want to ask to the data set, right? So should I stop recording here? Right? So I'm going to stop recording here.